Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining me again on another video. If this is your first time here, you're so much welcome to this amazing community. And if you're a returning subscriber, it's always a pleasure having you here. So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about studying in Norway. For any level of study, your bachelor's or your master's study, how you can get the university of your choice. I think I'll just say it that way, how to select the universities. But first things first, I will be talking about the general studying anywhere else outside your country. Even in your country, this is applicable. So I'll be talking about that first, and then I'll be talking next about how you can find the schools that are here in Norway and how you can get all of them in one place, because that's the ideal thing to do, to see every one of them. So let's get right at it.
Living life every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray.
So for around the world, what I did when I was finding a destination was to get the world map. Funny enough, you might have a destination you really want to go to, but you would forget it because you don't have the list at a glance, because it's a whole different process altogether. You might even know a university, you might know them, but when it's time to fill an application, it just goes off. So it's best for you to have everything at a glance. So get the world map. If you have a destination you want to go, maybe to the North America or to Europe, just have a destination then. So if you want to go to Europe, then you can now select the countries in Europe you really want to go. So when you list them down, you can now narrow it down by checking every country's requirements for internationals. So what you can do is to just go to every country's immigration website. For Norway, they have what we call the UDI. That's where you see all the criteria, because all the schools report to the immigration, or they work hand in hand. So it's whatever the immigration says, that's what the schools will factor. So it's just best to start from there. You go and see what criteria you need to study in a different country, and then you can know that for sure that's the country you want to be in. So now down to Norway. If you've chosen Norway as your destination country where you would want to study, you can go to UDI, which is Norway's immigration agency, and then you can check. It's a very easy interface. You just put in the country you're coming from, the country you're applying to, what visa you want, so study visa, and then you just see all the requirements you need, because that's the same requirement the school will give you when it's time. So it's just best not to waste time to have that first before you apply to the school. Now when you've gotten that and you're settled with whatever you've seen in the immigration service, you can now select the schools you want that will fit your study choice or what you really want to do. So to get the list of schools in Norway, it's very easy. You just have to Google what we call the student web. When you Google the student web, so I think I'll put a link, you can follow the link. Just Google that, and it's like a drop down menu. You'll see the list of universities that are registered there, because that student web is a platform where you're going to be doing all your registrations, different universities in Norway. So that should be the first place you should go to, because you would definitely go back there. So it's best you go there, see the list of universities that are there in the student web, and then you can now take them one after the other. So as you can see on the screen, I'm going through all the universities. You can now take them one after the other and then go to their website individually, and then you see the admission requirements. So when you see the admission requirements, then you can now see the deadlines for each courses, because every university have the courses they offer, and most universities do not have any English course. So it's just best for you to have that set somewhere. Some universities don't have any English program, trust me, and some have English program but only at a master's level, and some have a few bachelor's programs. So it's just best for you to go to them one after the other. Some of them have obvious names, so from the names you can see the field of study, the university. You can see what the university has to offer. So something like Norwegian Music School. I think that's what it's called, Norwegian School of Music or something. You definitely know it's a school that has like a music course and it there. But I can't go through all the schools one after the other because there are a lot. So you can just do that, go see the program they have. Then every program has its own criteria, and I think most of the universities here, they have the same criteria, or maybe some differ. Something like a school like Norwegian School of Economics, they have like one of the rigorous requirements to study economics there. So, and some schools require test scores, some do not. When I was going to apply, University of Oslo required TOEFL. Even though I was from an English-speaking bachelor's or English-speaking country, they didn't regard my English. They needed TOEFL, and then they needed GRE in addition. And Norwegian School of Economics needed just GRE, but their cutoff point was really high. So every school has their own requirement, and now every school has its own individual tuition fees. Some schools have low tuition fees and some schools have high tuition fees. And with the scholarship coming, some schools would have like more scholarship offers and some will have less. So now it's just best to select the schools and then go on their websites and then see the requirements for every course and what they teach. Most importantly, the language. So someone asked me one time if they can apply for a course and then come here and come and learn the language. The whole language thing is a different ballgame altogether. It's not like other countries where you can enroll in the program and then you would have 1 year to learn the language and then you'll be admitted in the following year. No, you can be here 1 year and you will not know the language. Know the language and still not get admission, so they don't take that risk. If you know you want to learn the language to study, you'd have to learn it and pass before you can even get the admission. That's the whole criteria. So it's a whole different thing altogether. So a lot of you have asked me how you can get schools here. It's not a difficult process. It's a very easy thing to do. You just have to use Google. Google is your best friend now, and then you can just search and have a book. So some of you would want to use Excel to keep track of all the deadlines, to keep track of the schools that the requirements for every school, every other information. But for me, I prefer to write it because that way I can just refer back to my book. I think I'm the old school type. So just know what works best for you. You can try both and see which one you use like most, and that will help you. So yeah. And don't forget, Google Calendar also works. It will just give you alerts of your deadlines, your application deadlines. That really works. And as always, I will see you in my next video. If you have any other questions, just don't forget to leave it in the comments, or you can send me an email, or you can follow me on Instagram, send me a message on Facebook Messenger, and don't forget to follow me on TikTok. I give updates there too. And yeah, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and as always, I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.